Mhm.
Greetings and warm welcome to the Money Smart Week South Africa Fintech Webinar 2025. Money Smart Week South Africa is a financial education campaign designed to raise awareness and empower South Africans with knowledge and tools necessary to make informed financial decisions. Money Smart Week South Africa is brought to you in partnership with the National Treasury, the Financial Sector Conduct Authority, the National Consumer Financial Committee, NCFEC, and my name is Kagiso. I'm your host from Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator and as a youth. Today, I'm delighted to have with me on the call two beautiful ladies who will be guiding us today on all matters fintech. Good morning, ladies. How are you? And happy Women's Month.
Thank you so much, Kagiso. Hope you're good too.
Awesome. So without any further delay, I would like you to perhaps just give a brief introduction of who you are, what is it that you do, and which entity do you represent?
Okay, I'm Tari Manyonga. I love calling myself Tari Mari. I'm a financial literacy educator. My purpose is to remind people that their money matters and they must be in charge of it. And I'm so excited every year when it's Money Smart Week, as we get to collaborate with more people to spread financial literacy awareness, just to remind people that they need to be very intentional, very deliberate with how the relationship with their money. So basically, I'm here in advocating that we need to take care of our money so that it can be able to take care of our future. I'm so excited for today.
Fantastic. Mittah?
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me. My name is Mittah Kokong. I'm a financial literacy educator and I'm founder and director of New Ground Financial Literacy. And I'm also a money coach as well. I'm very much passionate about educating young people about money. I believe that through knowledge of money, we are able to break limitations and also start creating wealth. There's nothing that you can build without knowledge. So that is why I'm very much passionate about teaching financial literacy. It's Money Smart Week, and that is what Money Smart Week is about. It's about spreading the word. It's about making people aware, young and old, that money is important. So we should be very wise about it. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. That is very, very profound. So Terry, coming back to you, what would you tell our audience what fintech is and how does it differ from traditional ways of banking?
That's a very great topic, Kagiso. Just looking for my slide here, technology. Let me share my screen as we start into
Awesome.
it, talking about what is fintech,
Yes.
which is something I also didn't know about it, but with researching and also with this work we do, one thing which I love about this work we do is that it always makes you to be researching and understand a lot of things. So from my understanding, fintech basically is financial technology. Like these are the things we use every day, but most times we don't really know that we are actually engaging with fintech. So fintech just makes up like banking and saving and payments easier, because now at least instead of us going to the banking was how we used to do it before. Like I think in the 90s, there was no like banking apps and all that. We used to go to the banking was like, if you want to withdraw money, you have to go physically into the bank to withdraw money and do all that. So now with fintech is that you have your banking apps on your phone, on your laptop, on your tablet, wherever you are, you have your banking app. And so there are different examples of banking apps, like your mobile banking apps, like what I've been talking about. If you bank with Capitec, FNB, Nedbank, Standard Bank, whatever it is, you also now it's even upgraded. We now even use QR codes when you're banking. You can even like tap with your phone. Like it's just so amazing how technology is evolving. So things like your SnapScan, your Zapper, those are also types of your fintech. Like your card readers, if you're in small businesses, like your Yoko, Ikoka, And then your online shopping, like things like Pay Fast, also all those things are like types of your fintech. And
Yeah.
if you love investing like myself, easy equities, it's also form of a fintech. Instead of doing the traditional way we used to do it when you want to buy shares, like you used to go find like find a broker to buy shares for you to be on your behalf. Now you can just quickly go on easy equities, look for the company you want, and quickly you have bought your shares. So basically that's what fintech is all about. So I think I've also explained about the differences between the fintech and the traditional banking. So traditional banking was branch-based, and there were slower processes, like you stand in a queue and do all the other stuff, like waiting for someone to save you. There's also higher fees and limited hours. Like banks, we know, like most probably by 3 or 4, they are closing. So that was the traditional banking. And also they're focused on legacy systems, like there's systems you have to do. You can't just go and say, you say someone, the big teller, they have to save you now. Like you have to wait and in the system and all that. And with fintech, this is where you're talking about app-based, fast and paperless, often lower fees and more access, focus on user experience. Like if, for example, if you talk about Time Bank, with Time Bank, there's no like a traditional building you can go into. Like if you want to open an account with Time Bank, you just go on the website, you register everything, you get assisted, you open your account, and that's it. So that's basically the difference with our traditional banking. And I think I really love the way this fintech is going to. So I think I've also explained this. So I'll go into the fintech services we have here in South Africa. Like we have your mobile wallets, your digital loans. I explained about easy equities if you're someone who love investing, your peer-to-peer payments, microinsurance and saving platforms, your POS systems for informal traders like Lesaka Technology. So this is like a whole different angle. You can actually engage with your money and your payments in a I can call it in a smarter way when you're talking about fintech, because it's actually easy, like without even like worrying yourself, okay, I need to take a taxi maybe to go to town to go to the bank. Now you can actually do everything on your phone and all that. And also like I think also like just also looking into the terms of just understanding that okay, you can actually have everything, like all your banking system in your phone, can actually do all your payments. Like if you want to buy things abroad, now we know people with Shein and Temu, people are always buying on that. Like it's just so easy. But sometimes it also gets me worried. I know I'm digressing from the question you asked. It also gets me worried, especially on
I think as a moderator, I'm happy to give you that leeway to elaborate. But also I think we as young users, I would use, or youth and Dala, I'm not sure how old are we on the call, but we tend to be fast paced. We don't read between the lines, the fine prints. How would you say what is it that would set the fintech side of things apart compared to your traditional banking? I mean, like that example that you have made with Time Bank. There's no brick and mortar. Yes, we know that they are in the stores and everything, but you don't need to go through that process of a traditional bank. In fact, I've also observed that the banks, the traditional banks, have actually even started to migrate to how the digibanks are doing it, and etc. So I'm interested to also know in terms of the safety concerns of it and the terms and conditions thereof. What is it that the user can also look into in terms of that? Before you answer, I think I'm not sure. I think your presentation is a bit faint, or is it from my side? It's not on presentation mode.
Okay.
I'm sure. Yes, if you can just.
Okay, let me do that.
Yes. I know that I've gave you a double barrel of questions, but just to maybe just give us that, insider in terms of the safety aspect of it, because we know that our people don't like to to adhere to technology or are a bit skeptical as it's compared to other developing countries, if you like. Yeah. So
Yes. Yes, to add on to that, that's what I wanted to go into. Like sometimes it also gets me worried. Like, okay, how safe are these fintechs? Like, if you're talking, okay, like everything now, you can actually do it on the digital way, and
yeah,
like in terms of maybe you have someone who took money from your account, like a scam or a fraud, which happened. Where do
yeah,
you go to make queries of that? So, which is also like another downside, or maybe something we also need to understand. Like, okay, when I'm registering or opening an account on these platforms, you need to like to go through the fine print, just understand, okay, is there a call center for you to reach out? Is there maybe a chatbot or maybe a WhatsApp group or whatever, a platform where you can actually reach out to get assistance on time? Because if you look on our traditional banking system, we used to know like, okay, if you have an issue, you could actually walk in the bank and
yeah,
have someone to assist you. But now with this fintech space, you don't really like have someone who can assist you. It's either maybe you get assisted with the chatbot and all that. But I also say on the brighter side of it as well, it also saves time. Like imagine like
yeah,
if you're just opening an account, it's just like so easy. Then maybe
yes,
you just have to submit your papers, your documents for them to just verify if you're a real human being or not. Then it is very quick. So I'm saying like in terms of saving time with the space where we are all in it as well. That's why I say like I'm really in love with the fintech, the way
yeah,
they work. I can also go back to the example of easy equities. Like we know how hard it was before to just buy a share for a company. It was just difficult
oh,
because like I said, the red tape was just too much. Like you need to have a broker and all that. And in all these stages, that's money we are talking about. At least with fintech, it saves you money because now you know you just buy your shares on a platform and there's not that much admin money which is being taken, which also helps you in saving money and putting more money to invest for your future. So, which I think that's also the good side of having these fintechs. I don't know, Mita, maybe if you have something to add on this.
Yeah, actually, while you were talking about the downside of the fintech or all the apps that we're using and all the platforms that we have, as consumers, we also have some responsibility to take when it comes to these things. For example, your banks will on your app will provide things like your two-step verification. So I think most of consumers need to understand that we need to adhere these things because they're in place to protect our money, so that
yeah,
we don't lose our hard-earned money. And I think majority of consumers just skip those things and we think it's unnecessary. I know one of the things that I saw as well that African Bank was doing is that when you apply for credit, if you do it over the phone, they don't just pick up the application at face value. They will send you a link where you will be able to log in and it does a facial recognition. So that is one of the steps that you have to take to ensure that the actual person we are talking to is the person that they say they are. So to some extent, as consumers, we also have a responsibility and we need to take that responsibility and be aware of it. Yeah.
Sure.
fantastic, fantastic. So you saying from what I'm gathering overall, the benefits outweigh the risks. That's yeah. So
Yes.
the efficiency part that we're talking about, and the other part of saying it's the consumer's responsibility to
To
safeguard your information, to
and to
read,
educate
Yes.
yourself.
to educate yourself, to go through
Mm,
the fine
Mm.
print. And these things
Yes.
also they sound like a traditional banking type of responsibility, right? It also gives me peace of mind to say, wait a minute,
Mm.
there's nothing too technical about it. It's just that you as a
Yes.
consumer, you just need to open your eyes and know your rights and know what your responsibility. Wow,
yes.
thank you very much for that. Makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you. So on that note, Mita, I think we will hand over to you to on that tone to talk about the benefits. If you were to convince a diehard traditional banker, Emakhaya, to say, but why should I, move from being in the queue and something in the cloud somewhere that does what I want it to do. What would you say are those benefits?
As you are talking about the old way of banking, I'm thinking of a story that I once heard of a guy who was just a traditional banker, to an extent that he believed a simple ATM would rob him of his money, so he would not use an ATM. And you know how in the old they used bank books. So he would take his bank book and walk into a branch and say, you must sign on the book that I withdrew this much and this much is left. So it also goes very much back to the mentality, how others have been affected by the past and how others are being affected at the moment by the fast-paced world that we're actually living in. So Tari, if I may ask you to please move to the next slide. So as Kagiso has said, I'll be talking about the benefits of fintech. So benefit number one is managing money better. So basically, there are budgeting apps that one can download that can help you to actually manage your money. And these budgeting apps can be able to help you to track your spending as well. I know it doesn't.
Sorry, I don't see your slide.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I don't see your slide 5 on the screen.
The slide, Tari.
I'm on it. Is it not showing?
Can you move to the next slide?
Page 5,
No.
slide 5, yeah.
No, it's not.
It's this one.
The next one.
No, it's still on your last slide, slide 4.
It's not moving on again.
Can you see it now?
Okay, let me stop sharing and reshare again.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Can I move on so long?
Yeah, it's on.
Or maybe wait a bit.
Yeah, no, this is so interesting, and I'm sure the audience would have questions, to ask beyond this, and I think we would, share your platforms beyond this to where the audience could share, their questions and their concerns.
Yeah.
Thank you. Over to you now.
Definitely. Okay, so as I was saying, there are budgeting apps that you can use to track your spending in real time. And that means as you drive around, as you are at the mall, I can imagine how pen and paper would be quite difficult for someone to track their spending while they're at the mall. Or even when you're at home, because again, we live in a fast-paced world and we want to be able to keep our finances in control, but it must be easier for us. Things like automating your savings. I know with Capitec, I've seen you would have to identify an expense on your bank statement and add that this is my grocery, this is my Wi-Fi. And from there, you would get insights as to a percentage of how much of your income goes towards your expenses, and which type of expenses taking a chunk of your money, which is quite good because then it helps me as a consumer to know where my money is going, which is very much important. The benefit number 2 would be helping people who don't have bank accounts. Mobile money, cash send, M-Pesa. This is where I can send money to someone using their cell phone number and they can go withdraw their money at a Boxer or at a Pick and Pay at the till. And the charges there obviously are quite cheap. They're cheaper at the till than it would have been if I had gone straight into a branch. Again, comparing the traditional way of banking and also our digital way of banking. Microloans based on phone usage or transaction history, quite simple and easy to access. Digital wallets offer secure storage and transfers. So there's no need for me to carry a card around, plastic. There's no need for me to carry cash in the pocket. I don't have to run to a branch. So people who don't have bank accounts aren't necessarily excluded from the economy. They are not excluded from, the everyday life of exchange money, because that is what money is for. We need to exchange it in order to ensure that the economy grows. So that is a benefit of helping people who don't have bank accounts. Or nowadays, because not everyone is credit savvy, or not everyone is good in terms of their credit. Some are dodging that, hey, don't put money in my bank account, because if it goes there, the bank charges will take it. So that is what other people actually use it for. So it's quite a very healthy tool that we can use, or that we are currently using, to make our lives easier and better. Next slide, please, Tarek. So mobile wallets and digital payments. So as I said, they're faster and safer than cash. So we know if you carry cash, you are a high risk, especially in the country we're in, where crime is very high. And I mean, we know that because things have become digital, it means that digital crime also increases. That is where people get scammed, people get links, and they click and they give their OTPs, and then money is stolen. But if we are again responsible with how we use these digital platforms, then our money is safer, making sure, I always tell my clients that if you did not ask for the service, if you did not request it, don't take it. If someone calls you and says you have won, just yesterday someone told me they got a call from someone who says they're from Standard Bank and they have won something, they would like to take them out for dinner. Can you imagine? So that is how bad it is out there. Tari, the next slide, please. Have you moved it?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay. I think we're having that trouble again, but it's fine. So it enables loyalty rewards and discounts. So when you are using your they call them virtual cards. So instead of carrying out your plastic card, I also received a tip yesterday that when you're doing online purchases, rather use your virtual card, because apparently the CVV number on a virtual card is only usable for the next hour. After that hour, it expires. So therefore, making the virtual card much more safer, unlike your plastic card. I was so excited to know that, because I'm not a fan of online shopping. So it's easier for small businesses to accept payments. So, I mean, I think that is one of the greatest benefits. In the past, we always used to think that swipe machines are only for big businesses, banks, but even the guy at the street corner can have a Yoko machine and they can swipe, somebody can tap, and you can have it in your pocket. So, I mean, somebody owes you money and you meet them on the street, you're like, hey, pay me, and you've got a card. They can't say I don't have cash with me. So it's quite beneficial, and it's beneficial to an extent that it helps us to save, and it makes budgeting quite easy. Apps, again, that automate your savings. I actually use Time Bank as a bank, and I was quite excited to know that as part of their offering, you can open up a fixed deposit account, and you can choose to do it over 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And you can throw money in there, and you can see your money growing. Depending on the type of person you are, if you are visual or not. Some people should not see their money, because if they see it, they spend it. Some people want to see, because when they see it, they are motivated. So another thing about this fintech that I love is that it's very visual. And visual meaning I get to see where I'm going. I get to see if I'm going in the right track or not, because it provides those insights, it provides those dashboards, and I'm able to categorize my expenses and the money that I'm spending and how I'm actually spending it. And again, no spreadsheets. And I think no one likes a spreadsheet. If I had to work with a spreadsheet, I think I would scream. So apps that are in place help do away with things like that, copying and pasting. It's a matter of inserting information and utilizing the security that is available to ensure that our money is safe and that our information is safe. Nowadays, throwing even a letter of yours or an ID copy of yours in the bin without even tearing it up is quite dangerous. So I love these benefits, and I think people should get this knowledge and actually implement it to ensure that their information and their money is actually safe. So visual. I think the more we go that way, the more we learn more about our money. Thank you.
Fantastic. It's great to know that actually we have advanced as a country. I mean, some of the technologies or the conveniences that you were mentioning actually have already formed part of our everyday life, right? So when you hear these jargons, you're thinking something that is out of this world and stuff like that. And I mean, I've also observed, I think with China, what they are doing now, mentioning the informal sector, they've actually even started the scan to pay thing at the market. Like it's just
Yes.
completely cashless. People no longer carry cash. They just have to. You see tomatoes with a QR code there. You just
Wow.
Yeah,
scan
you
and,
just
select
can. Yeah.
your tomatoes, and we are getting there, right? Whether we like it or
Yeah.
not, that's something that we need to transition to. So wow, thank you very much, ladies. I think this has been a fantastic segment, and I foresee many of these even beyond Money Smart Week. So brace yourselves. You will definitely be in demand. I'm not sure from your side, Terry, do you have got any parting shots before we conclude our segment?
Yeah, to the listeners, since you're spreading awareness, I just want, okay, in as much we are going to be enjoying our fintech, enjoying this advancement of technology. Also, just remember to be safe. Remember to read and understand what you're reading, and also remember to implement the security measures which you are required to be doing. It's not waste of your time; it will save you long term. So just remember that, and let's enjoy in advancing in technology, because that's where we are moving to.
Fantastic. Yeah. So where can the viewers or the audience get you? Where your handles, your social media accounts, and etc.
Okay, so you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn as Let's Talk Finances with Tari. And I also have a blogging site. I think I'm going to write something on this topic as well on my website this week of Money
There
Smart
you
Week on
go.
Let's Talk Finances with Tari. So everywhere it's Let's Talk Finances with Tari.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Mittah, your parting shot, and where can the viewers find you?
All I would like to say to the consumers that we need to move away from a mindset of consumption and start being, okay, well, we can't totally do away with consumption, but at some point we need to start creating wealth. And the first step is to always get knowledge, right? So the audience can find me on Facebook, it's Your Personal Finances. On Instagram, it's Your Personal Finances, UR_personal finances. And on YouTube, I am creating wealth with Mittah Kokong. And yeah, so those are the platforms that they can find me at. I'll be sharing more and more this Money Smart Week on those platforms. So thank you so much.
Fantastic, Heaven. You guys are serious about this financial wellness thing. I can even
Definitely,
hear
playing.
by your handles that they are intentional. No, thank you very much.
Yes.
I think from my side, the audience can find me, Kagiso, on LinkedIn, Absa Munyat's on YouTube and TikTok. And definitely some of this content will be channeling it. Over and above that, we've got Money Smart Week SA on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. On that note, thank you so much, ladies, and have a fantastic day ahead and the rest of the Women's Month.
Thank you so much, Kagiso. Really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much, Kagiso. Thank you, Tari. Enjoy your day.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye.